All right, welcome everybody. We're going to do a little bit of mantra today if you choose to join me. You might feel this touch you inside a little bit in a way that you don't want it to. So you can just pass on if that's how you feel, but I'm going to share my screen. I've done a little bit of searching after last night. Some things were mentioned to me that I should check out, and so I did. Let's see. Okay, where is my normal buttons? Share audio. Share this thing. Thank you. All right, so the porthole. So you're looking at my screen now. And now, okay. So last night, Academiated offered up the idea of looking up Amanda Vollmer. She is a doctor. She operates the website yummy.doctor. And so this was kind of interesting. And so I'm going to figure out what DMSO is here in the near future. So I do appreciate him mentioning her. This is what she looks like. And then people have taken sound bites of hers and put them on the internet, but she herself does not have a YouTube channel. I bet she's battling some politics up there in Canada. This guy is also in Canada, is my understanding. And so I mentioned him last night. He is Jason Gallant. And he creates mantras and then puts them out to the world to help enlighten and heal. And mantras are something that you'll say to yourself repetitively during a meditation. And that's what I'm going to take y'all through, as I warned you last night that I was going to get around to doing this, because the Hexkins need exercise and they need health. And so what we put in our bodies and how we exercise our bodies is what I'm getting at. And we need to cool down the mind a little bit so that we don't go crazy. And this is my perspective. So whatever you think is cool with you, like here's a video from 10 years ago by Jason. I never have talked to him in person. I have donated to him through PayPal because I've really appreciated him. Whenever it is that somebody helps you out and you're kind of anonymous to them, I really suggest you somehow show them some support, and I think it'll come back around for you. All right, so I'm hoping everything's gone through. I'm about to take off my shoes and get comfortable, and then we're going to do this mantra for 108 times. And I'm going to attempt to sing into the microphone, and we'll have Jason's voice here as well. He's about to give us an explanation. So as he's given the explanation, I'm going to take off my shoes. You guys get comfortable. If you're watching this on replay, super.
Today I'm going to teach you a mantra for protection. This has been a mantra requested from someone on the YouTube channel, so thanks for requesting. Give me an idea of another mantra to
warm
give
up
you.
Voice, guys.
And the reason why I haven't put this mantra up is because I have put the Chamunda mantra up for protection. And Chamunda is another aspect of Durga. So Durga is known as the mother, and she's worshipped in the East as the mother more often than any of the other female deities. So the Mother Durga is pretty common in India. If you go to a lot of temples, there are Mother Durgas all over the place, right? So her mantra, funny enough, is definitely to do with the furious aspect of the mother. At least this mantra is the protectress, the one that protects her children. And it's really effective in helping you deal with fear and a feeling of, lack of safety. So you feel insecure or feel very unsafe, or probably a great mantra for people that have been abused. A great mantra for people that are afraid and worry a lot. People that are worried about what will happen to them. They don't have that protection energy around them. Like they sometimes worry happens. I mean, if we approach it from the honest standpoint, from the enlightenment standpoint, worry is a misconception, or a misinterpretation of the energies around you. You're perceiving something as fear, but it's really not fear at all. But you're pushing it away and you don't want to feel it. So that's the yana way of looking at it. But in another way, that when you feel a lot of fear and anxiety, there's a part of you that doesn't feel safe, and you can ask yourself the question, why is that? Why are you not feeling safe? So if you can't go to the on and say, okay, there's no such thing as unsafety, no such thing as this, I'm safe, I'm eternal, I'm immortal, I'm fine. If that's not working for you and you find that you can't go to that level right like this, you can't shift your experience of life, then you have to start changing your situation. And one of the ways of changing your situation is working with the energy that is around you, or working with the energy in your energetic field to bring more of that safe type of experience to you. So, people that deal with anxiety and fear may have a lack of protection energy around them, and perhaps their intuition is saying something needs to be fixed or healed, something needs to be addressed. And like I said, I like to go to the yana level right away. That's the fastest and quickest way. But ultimately, my path wasn't all yana, and there were many different obstacles that I had to traverse, and those obstacles had to be overcome with actually doing something. I just didn't have the spiritual intelligence or awareness to apply the knowledge of the self in that moment. So working with the energies was a very powerful way to get through some of these hurdles.
Okay, so I just chose this. I kind of like meandered in to his offerings on YouTube. And what I already told you what it is that I think Hexicans are suffering from. So I'm just attempting to show a new perspective, a new way, get people to be able to control their minds instead of being controlled by their minds. Because, hey, whenever it is that you're going to operate in Hex, the contract is a truth engine. So all it takes is for you to be um, for you to bring value forward and to know what you're doing and participating with cryptocurrencies and participating with the hex contract. um, it is such a force, and there's so many other things that you can be doing in the moment, but here you are, without drugs, without alcohol. Here you are. I hope this will help you guys.
So here's the Durga mantra, the mother. She is the supreme Shakti. Durga is all about spiritual energy. So anytime you worship the feminine, you're invoking spiritual energy, which leads you to realization or to enlightenment. And Durga rides a tiger, and she has many arms, and she has weapons and different types of tools to deal with any sort of illusion. So if you are chanting this mantra and one day you meditate and you see a tiger, don't freak out, because this is a very common thing that happens. You may see a tiger just looking at you, or you may see a woman, a beautiful woman riding a tiger. That is actually Durga, and yeah, this is the way she shows up sometimes. So
I have never done this mantra, by
anyway,
the way.
I'll chant this mantra 108 times, and feel free to chant it all day and all night if
108
you
times.
have this feeling of worry or fear in you, and see how it works. Okay.
So as we do this 108 times, your mind is going to attempt to go and pay attention to other things, and you're going to bring your mind back to the words that are coming out of your mouth. And that is you controlling your mind. And once again, I have never done this certain mantra before, towards Durga.
Go. Om Doom Durga Ye Namaha.
He's going to teach
See,
us
here we
how.
go. It goes Om Doom. So doom is really easy to remember. Doom, like when you're feeling like doom is going to come to you, then doom. That's the seed sound. That's the archetypal energy of protection. And Durga, when you say Durga, it's not Durga, it's Durga.
Durga.
So Om
Om
Doom
Durga.
Durga Ye Namaha. Om Doom
Durga.
Durga Ye Namaha.
Om
Om
Doom
Doom
Durga.
Durga Ye Namaha. So I'll
Om.
chant this 108 times, and I'll start slow. I hope I hope I'm doing it right.
I'm gonna pause it real fast. Okay, so whenever you're doing mantras, whenever you're doing meditation, choose which fingers you want to touch your thumb. It's up to you. Each one of them has different energy flows through your body, but let's leave it up to your interpretation in the moment. And I recommend you have it to where they're both symmetrical, right? And as you go down this path, you'll see that more and more with Sata Nama, right? Sata Nama. Yeah.
And what I mean by I hope I'm going at the right pace for you so you can get this. So here we go. I'll start slow and we'll move up. Okay. Om Doom
Doom Durga
Durga Ye Namaha. Om Doom
Om
Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga Ye
Ye Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga Ye
Ye Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om
Om
Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom Durga
Durga Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om Doom
Durga
Durga
Ye
Ye
Namaha.
Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye 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 Namaha.
Well, that was interesting. What? Oh, it stopped filming? I didn't know this was gonna happen. So I lost track.
So this is just one of many Durga mantras.
We're not done yet. We're not done. What's going on? What do you think we were at? 55? Okay, stop sharing the screen. Remove. Oh, Marcavelli is in the chat. Tim Top's in the chat. All right, so let's keep going on this. I thought that video was kind of short. Whenever I was looking at it, it was only 22 minutes. Okay, so let's get just another. I guess let's do another half of that, or a full bit. Let's do 100%. And now you're only going to hear my voice, unless somebody else wants to join in. I'll go ahead and grab that. Okay, so there's a little sound whenever somebody clicks on the link to join. There's a little sound that plays in my head, so I'll know that you joined. So if you want to interrupt me, you can do that. But otherwise, we're going to get another 50 or so because we're trying to do 108. And yes, I already feel better. There were probably about 3 times that I was getting distracted and I had to bring myself back to a point. And then also it's kind of hard whenever you're with somebody else's voice. Moondog says stopped 6 shy. Okay, here we go. Welcome everyone. We're on Twitter and YouTube at the same time. At the same time. All right. This is how I have my hands, and I have my legs crossed. Not the Indian style, because I have one of them up over the other. Om. Om Dum Durga Ye Namaha. 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 Om Dum Durgaye 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 Namaha. Someone has summoned. Someone has been summoned. Would you
Booyah, Kishadi.
join me?
You summoned me, sir? Get a notification noise notification when someone's in the group.
Right when they pop in the green room. So I'm going to continue. And I kind of got distracted there a little bit. I forgot a little bit. I missed the yay one time. Om Dum Durga Ye Namaha. 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 Om Dum Durgaye 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 Namaha. All right. Machiavelli's back. Is he? Masharah. Rahi? And Trap Gravity's like, what the heck? I can't keep. What did Tin Top say? I can't keep track, but it sounds better in harmony. Yeah. Machiavelli, you kind of got me off track a little bit.
Maharaji? What?
You were a little bit off or something. I started like getting off track in my head. But that's one of the lessons that mantra teaches. Whenever it is that we're trying to stay centered and focused, keep on bringing it back to the center, because you always have to think about the words that you're doing and what it is that you're up to. So how are you doing these days?
It was probably a lag or something.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. How are you?
Am I right? Riding out the dip?
At the dip?
Anything to keep your mind off the fucking price.
All right. Well, hey, Mondays are self-care days for me, and I encourage everybody to do that. Mondays, just sometimes people feel in the mood to pay attention to themselves, and I actually think the work week is like purposefully put there in order to break us. But the second day of the week, Tuesday, is kind of an take action day. Start something or follow through with something. Wednesdays are communication days. And I have told Trap this, and he has actually tried it out, and he's like, hell yeah. And he just like schedules his Wednesdays to be these outreach, start communication days. Thursdays are my design days. Fridays are kind of a social wandering day. Saturday is a clean house day to standardize, organize, get your shit together. And Sundays are a social day. I just went through the whole week. If anybody cares to try those things out, I think it could help you out. But yeah, I'm not like trying to get my eye off of the price or trying to get my head off of the chart. Instead, I'm like reading the community and who is still public out in the open. And I think that whether you're a Christian or an atheist, I think that mantras and trying to bring your mind back into your control can help everybody. And of course, self-care, nutrition. It's appropriate to have those in order so that you can control your mind. And I feel sorry for some of the folks who have all sorts of obstacles in their way, whether it be relying on chemicals, or you've got other things that are right in front of your face that you can't get over, or maybe you have some trauma of some sort.
Yeah, I've been looking into trauma stuff a lot lately here.
How have you been thinking of working out trauma? No? No?
Jerry Marzinski, the psychological guy, he's got a channel called Engineering Mental Sanity, I think.
Okay.
He was a clinical psychologist, or still is, for like 40 years. And I was just watching, I mean, a bunch of his videos today talking about how psychotropic drugs, that when people have like any, like have depression and stuff, that these drugs, all they do is like numb down the frontal lobe of someone's brain and slowly turn people retarded, which is unfortunate.
As an alternative, what does he recommend as an exercise?
He's got some program out of Australia. I can't think of off the top of my head. I was just watching it. It's a simple name, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But
So tell us the practice, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to get into. He doesn't really discuss it too thoroughly, but yeah, it goes back into releasing trauma somehow. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how he does it. But I mean, I've done that before with going through different church things where they go like most, and then I was listening to another guy that talks about the same thing. It's most trauma is based on like not forgiving your parents for like how they raised you and whatnot. So a lot of people are like locked in child-based traumas by unforgiveness. I'm not sure if the other guy talks about that as much, but I'm diving into this stuff more. But I mean, basically, the concept is that thoughts are basically all demons, that like thought forms come into your brain and lower your frequency by causing negative thinking, which lowers your frequency and allows more of these negative thoughts in your brain and just slowly deteriorates your entire existence. And so, I mean, with these mantras and whatnot, it has a lot to do with just it. Once you stop thinking about your thoughts all the time, then like your natural base, I mean, that also goes, I mean, Abraham Hicks talks about that, but I don't really, I've kind of steered away from them a little bit, but just that like your regular frequency is like a higher frequency. But if people keep listening to these negative thoughts, then it naturally lowers your frequency. The way they explain it is like negative thinking is like putting a balloon underwater. And if you just let go of thinking, and that's your natural state, is to be in a more positive rate. But most people are controlled by their thoughts and basically in a trauma, like what PTSD syndrome, like 2 out of 3 mantras are good because it just gets people out of their thinking patterns, which are naturally negative through media and everything.
Believe in Yourself just started watching. Says, greetings, everyone. Greeting. So this leads to the question, how to take this trauma and turn it around to work for you. I don't know about that. So I think the Abraham Hicks stuff is good because it allows you to see that you're not alone in struggling, and it allows you to center and identify the meanings of thoughts. I'm trying to think back to the things that I learned when listening to Abraham Hicks stuff. And then recently, I watched a YouTube video, it was like last week, about how to instantly get rid of trauma. and it said something like, think of the place where you were most peaceful at home, and like go to that place, and then because you were there in that special place, then you watch the other stuff that you're having issues with. I forgot how it goes, so I'm sorry I even mentioned it.
But yeah, watching, just awareness, being aware of your thoughts and knowing that they're not you, creating that separation between your thoughts and yourself, and the awareness itself is what heals the trauma.
Believe in Yourself says, did you know that any thought you give voice to makes it more powerful?
I do that, yes.
Yeah, my bad. Yes, I'm very familiar that if you put uh, well, if you analyze a thought, it makes it stronger, and then if you voice it, most definitely makes it stronger. We humans have a lot of power. Um, this all of this makeup is waves, and so for us to take that thought like a record player, a needle on a record player, take that thought, put it into sound, and bring it out to the world. Other people's ears are taking it in. We ourselves are amplifying that thought. Um, Me and my father have been having some conversations about frequencies, and he passed me a YouTube video recently talking about frequencies. And in that video, it talked about the English language being tainted. Those are my words, tainted. And I've had this idea for a while, and hardly ever, maybe never, has anybody ever said it in a YouTube video. And so I was glad to be with good company, because imagine creating a language and having it to where that language has limitations upon the people, or creates limitations for the people who use it. I think that's um, that's the case with English. Wow, believe in yourself is all over chat.
Yeah, English, and that's what, like, thoughts in general, like, are usually in your English language, right? And I don't think like that mantra that you were saying was the English language. So it's like
Right,
you're not limiting yourself into a thought form in a language, which is very.
okay. Believe in yourself had some PTSD. Um, got a counselor to help with the PTSD, and seems as though the neighbors just called the police instead of um, calling a different authority. Believe in yourself. I don't know if you need to write a book. I think a lot of people are dealing with these things. Um, I think that you starting with a journal would be good, like a dream journal as well as a thought journal, and just put it out there so you can share with others. You can share with yourself. You can remind yourself. Um, I'm not a professional. Um, I'm just a lover of people. Believe in yourself. Um, gave an awesome comment right here. I have wondered about that, about the English language and thinking in the English language, and if the English language is tainted. He says, I know many around the world. I know my Japanese girlfriend thought in Japanese, so she thinks aloud to herself in her head in Japanese, as she would get a headache speaking English after about an hour. That's really interesting. Marcovelli, do you want to say that name out loud? Jerry Marzinski?
Yeah, that's the guy. I was just watching a video. I watched his stuff a long time ago, and then he came back up. But I was just trying to go back over it to find the word. There's a certain thing that a guy developed in Australia. This guy's been doing psychology for 40 years, and he found one thing that worked. And I can't think of the name, but he talks about it. If you look that guy up, he'll talk about it. I was just trying to go through the video to find what exactly the name is, like a one word thing. But yeah.
Believe in yourself. Will you tell us a little bit about how you came back to dreaming in June and July? Like, was it impossible to get any sleep while being homeless? Is it that you I'm trying to think. Like, I had dreams when I was homeless, but I also had a car, and so I had some safety.
I just had a dream last night about climbing, and then I went and climbed a tree today.
Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I don't dream all the time, but sometimes. Have you ever had any dreams that foretold the future?
All right, believe in yourself is messing with us. What's that, Marcavelli? Oh wow, you went on Thothchild's. You know Thothchild? Do you know Thothchild in person or just on stream? Wow, you've got some stories. All right, guys. I think this is about it. I'm going to look up climbing in a dream book and just go back to the beginning of this if you want to have the names of the people with resources. And today is Monday. Take care of yourself. Thanks for joining me, Marcavelli.
Heck yeah, thanks for having me.
See you guys later. Slow the mind down, bring it to center.